celebrating wine and cheese and honey and bread and all of the good things that nature has to offer. So it's been a tough time. It's been a tough year, and let me start with artisans. You know, when I started working in the food industry, I was immediately struck by the passion and the love that all my artisan friends and suppliers have. It's the common denominator for the artisans. And it's a lot of love. And so I think that if we can start from that common denominator of that love and passion that artisans have for their products and for the shepherds have the most unbelievable relationship with their animals. It's just, one of my shepherd friends says they're more important from the family. I don't know if that's true, but there's a lot of love between their shepherds and their animals. Sardinia, it's Italy's second biggest island, but it's not huge. And when I came here in 1990, I was struck by the variety. It's incredible. I was studying ancient Greek at the time. And so I learned very quickly that Sardinia is a paradise for linguists. And there are 4 languages spoken on the island. So we're not talking about dialects. We are talking about grammar, lexicon, 4 languages. So on the island of Carloforte, where we actually having our tonada, the tuna fishing is going on right now, they speak a medieval Genovese. The Genovese fishermen came over, and that's why we have a pasta with pesto and tuna, pasta alla Carlofortina, which is a fantastic pasta. We'll make that one time. In Alghero, up north, we have a language, it's basically medieval Catalano. The center of the island, we have the closest living language to Latin. And then, of course, where we are in Cagliari, the plains, the flatlands, we have a mixture of all of the invaders who came. They gave us something. So we have some Spanish, we have some Arabic, we have Italian, and I'm sure there's a bunch more languages. So those are our 4 languages. And when we talk about variety, the food tradition, it's amazing. Every town you go to, there's another handmade pasta. The terroir for wine. We have clay, we have granite, we have mountains, we have sand. And tonight I'm here with Giuseppe Carus. Okay?
Hi, John.
Ciao, Giuseppe. Ciao. Distance. So we're here with Giuseppe Carus. Giuseppe is the writer for Gambaro Rosso, for all of Italian wine. So he's an Italian wine expert, but you're Sardinian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Sardinia.
Okay, so we have the best of the best here, and we're in Giuseppe and Alessandra's restaurant. It's a beautiful, I just love what you did here. It's just, I mean, really, really cool.
Yeah.
When did you open up?
7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm very happy because tomorrow we restart with the restaurant.
Nice.
After 3 months that we are closed.
Nice. So
I'm very happy for this.
Getting back to normalcy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's like I went to the beach today, and it was great. It was like, we actually just like a regular Sunday went to the beach and laid there in the sand, and it was just fantastic. Just don't take anything for granted, right?
Yeah.
So we're in Cucine Eat, and here we have a map of Sardinia. Okay?
Yeah, Sardinia.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we made T-shirts. we made T-shirts for this event because we thought that, well, it says pane casa binaraso, which in Sardinian means bread and cheese and wine to the brim. And that's actually, remember if you were with us last week, we were with Michele Cuscusa shearing the sheep, and we showed you one of the shepherd's recipes. And that was basically pane carazao, Sardinian, very thin bread, tomato sauce, cheese, and an egg on top. You know, really simple. And another shepherd's kind of meal, and now it's just a Sardinian tradition, it's bread and cheese and wine, and then maybe some abbinamenti, or you know, what are, I can't, yeah, pairings, thank you. And so, actually, before we start, I want to show, we're going to show you everything we're doing tonight. So we're doing Sardinian wine, but we decided to bring a taster, a professional taster, even though your profession is really, you're a doctor, right? This is Sardinella, and I brought Sardinella a range of Sardinian cheeses. It's nice when you have a dinner party. At least I like to have different strokes for different folks. So some people are going to like a stronger cheese. Some people are going to like a more mild cheese. Some people are going to be okay with a raw milk cheese. Maybe somebody's pregnant and they don't want to eat. So I really like to celebrate when I have a dinner party a lot of different cheeses. Since the island, we have, you know, more sheep and goats on the island than people, and we have, you know, we have 100 dairies that make cheese, plus all the shepherds, so there's just an infinite amount of cheese. So tonight I brought for you Sardinella. I brought you a 30-day pecorino from Silius, from the Murtas family. It's one of my favorite 30-day pecorinos. I like it when I just come home, I melt it on a piece of pane carazao. I put a little honey on it. I use it to make lasagna, to make eggplant parmesan. It's a wonderful melting cheese. Yeah. Si scioglie benissimo. Okay. Then last week we were at the Cuscusa Dairy, and Michele makes wonderful raw milk cheeses. So we brought a goat. This is a 60-day goat cheese, raw milk. Then I have a more mature, like a 6 to 9 month goat cheese, again from the Murtas family. Check this out. This is an incredible. You got that, Simon? Can you see this well, Simo? This is a 12-month raw milk pecorino, and it's a barnyard cheese, kind of stinky. So like what I was saying about, you know, different strokes for different folks, and since we're going to be pairing with different wines, I got really mild to really stinky. Okay, not really stinky, but you know, perfumed. Then we got Fiore. Once you just find out what a Fiore Sardo is, okay, it's one of our 4 DOP cheeses, so it has to have 120 days. Usually it's smoked, even if that's not a DOP rule. It's made from raw milk and with lamb rennet. And I actually tonight brought a 12-month Fiore Sardo, which is smoked with wild olive, and it's a bomb. So you're going to have a tough job tonight, okay? So what we're going to do is Giuseppe is going to take us through a lesson and just give an introduction into the Sardinian wines and the terroir. And we're going to try to get some notions about, you know, Sardinia compared to other regions of Italy, and some, you know, just give you a good understanding of at least some of the major grapes. And then we're going to, after maybe we introduce a couple wines, we'll go to Sardinella, and we'll have her taste the wine and have her do some pairings. So maybe we'll start to get a feel of how, when you do a dinner party, you can really take it to another level. So I think that you want to start with, okay. Yeah. Prego.
Something about Marta, because there is
a
more fantastic guest with us. So.
Yeah. So Marta, who, by the way, it was her idea to do this, so it'd be nice to introduce her. Thank you. Marta, ex-colleagues, and we come from technology, so it's very common for tech people to go into food. So Marta and I met after years, like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm exporting wine. Oh, really? I'm doing the same thing. Where are you doing it? Japan. Oh, I'm doing America. So we just started talking about this, and then Giuseppe is helping Marta pick the wines for the Asian market. And so Marta will be helping us with some of the vineyards that you work with. And okay. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. So, pane caso e bina raso, it's, as you say, a very important claim in Sardinia.
Yes.
But with your word, I remember one more slogan about Sardinia.
Yes.
Sardinia is a quasi un continente, so Sardinia almost a continent.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sardinia is a continent, but I'm sure for the wine it's a real continent. Why? Because we have a lot of indigenous grape.
Okay.
Here we have the main grapes that we have, and but we have more than 40 indigenous grapes. So to produce wine is very, very important, our native grapes. And especially in this area, we have also some international grapes that,
okay.
For example, in America knows very well as a Cabernet Sauvignon and Sauvignon Blanc, that here grow very, very well. But to come back to the indigenous grape, here we are Cagnolari, Moscato, Torbato, Malvasia, Vernaccia, Bovale, Carignano, very important, Cannonau.
Cannonau.
Yeah.
So is it true? I hear Sardinian, because sometimes Sardinians exaggerate. They say, "Oh, this is Sardinian. It's fantastic." I said, not everything in Sardinian is So, but anyway, is it true that Cannonau is the first recorded grape to be found by archaeologists?
Yeah, we are sure that in Europe, yes. 3000 before Christ, we found some seeds of Cannonau near Borore and in the Golfo di Oristano.
5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago, yeah.
5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Cannonau is very important because there are two regional DOC, denominazione di origine. So with the Cannonau and Vermentino. So we have Cannonau di Sardegna and Vermentino di Sardegna because all the terroir is perfect for Cannonau and for Vermentino.
Okay.
So we have the classic zone is here, is the subzone of Ogliastra and Barbagia.
Okay.
It's very important for the Cannonau, but we have Cannonau in Gallura, in Alghero, in the south part of Sardinia, so near Cagliari. Also for the Vermentino is the same.
Is it the same grape, or does the Cannonau change a little bit, or it's always the same grape?
Change because change the terroir.
Okay.
Okay, so also if the grape is absolutely the same, the wine are very, very different.
Okay.
For example, here in Barbagia and Ogliastra, we have the terroir that came from granite. It's very important, the soil of granite.
Okay.
And here, for example, there is a lot of clay, and also in the south. And near the sea, we have a lot of vineyards in the sand.
Whoa.
It's incredible. 50% of the vineyards are into the hills, and the other percent are on the mountain.
Okay.
Because, for example, in Barbagia, there is a Gennargentu, so we have some vineyards that are also 700 meters of altitude.
So like Nepente.
Like Nepente, for example. But Nepente from Oliena.
Yes.
Is a little village in Barbagia, but for example we have Mamogliada.
Oh.
Is a village near Oliena. Is more higher than also if you compare with Oliena.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question for
Yeah.
you. So wine in the sand,
Yeah.
is it similar to is it like more similar to clay, or is it just its own thing? Sand is sand.
Sand is sand.
Okay.
Sand is sand. Because there is a sand, but because there is also the influence of the sea. It is very important, especially in this part, in this coast, the Mistral, the wind.
The westerly wind.
Yeah.
We get a westerly wind in
Also in
Sardinia.
Cagliari, we know very well Maestrale, so the Mistral wind. It's very important for our wines. Okay.
When the westerly wind blows here, it blows hard. And it blows, they say, only for 1 or 3 or 5 days. I don't know if it's true, but va bene.
Okay.
So where should we start?
And today we have a lot of wines. We have 4 white wines, different grapes, different terroir. We start with the Nuragus di Cagliari.
Okay.
Nuragus di Cagliari. Cagliari is the main city in Sardinia. It's also a DOC. So this part is a Cagliari denominazione. Here we have a Nuragus.
Okay.
Nuragus is very similar to the word with the Nuraghe.
So this is one of your vineyards, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'd love you to tell us a little bit about this vineyard, actually.
Actually, it's a very interesting boutique winery. Antonella Conda is a young lady. She's in her 30s, and she comes from a family of wine producers, very famous. Actually, her grandfather was Antonio Argiola, so one of the main wine producers in Sardinia. But she studied, she's an agronomist, so she studied a lot, and she decided to take part of the inherited land and to build her own business, her own winery. And she started just 10 years ago, but she was very successful from the start. And 2 years ago, with the first, let's say, edition of the Canunau, she won a very important prize from a Gamba Rosso guide. She won the Tre Bicchieri for Canunau, and also she won a very important prize because as the emerging winery, one of the emerging winery in Italy. So it's like a small boutique winery. They produce around 30,000, 50,000 bottles per year, and they have 3 wines, Nuragus, and we'll see after the Canunau, they also produce
Okay. Then we tasted the Sardegna Semidano. Semidano is the name of the grape, and Sardinia, because also the Semidano, we can produce the Semidano in all our island. But there is Mogoro. This came from Mogoro. There is a subzone from Sardegna Semidano. It's more or less here because it's a classic zone from Semidano grape. So it's one of the best Semidano that we have. Then we continue with Vermentino di Sardegna and Vermentino di Gallura. So because Vermentino di Sardegna is the regional denomination, and Giovanna Chessa is from Usini. Usini is a little village near Alghero, close to Alghero, is here, and it's very important for Vermentino and Cagnolari, and we taste both. The Cagnolari is red, Vermentino obviously is white, and then one more Vermentino, but it's from Gallura. So in Gallura, here, the green part is our first and unique DOCG, so a denominazione di origine controllata e garantita. I think there is 100 kilometers between Gallura and Usini area. The grape is the same, it's Vermentino, but the wines are completely different.
Wow.
Here clay, here granite.
Wow.
Yes. And then also a rosé. The rosé in Sardinia are, I think there are some denomination perfect for the rosé. One is Mandrolisai. Mandrolisai is the herb of our island, is here. Mandrolisai is a subzone of Sardinia. Is the name of the denomination, also the name of the terroir. It's incredible because it's a mix between the 3 main grapes that we have in Sardinia: Canonau, Bovale, and Monica. John, you know that also the ancient vigneron try to grow this grape. So they try to make the blend in the vineyard. So also the single vineyard, they grow some.
the proportion in the vineyards is the same proportion that you put
in the bottle.
Yes.
So more or less 50% of Canonau,
That's fantastic.
50% of Bovale, that you love the Bovale grape,
I love
the
Bovale.
wine,
Hi.
and then also the Monica grape. And today we try the Mandrolisai Rosé. I think is the first vintage.
It's the first
2019.
year. Yes, it's the first year they are making the rosé, and so they wanted to present to Italy, but as we know, unfortunately, this year has not been possible.
So we're presenting it.
Yes, yes, it's the first time. It's the first time it's presented to the public. And this winery is very interesting because it's a small winery. It's founded by 3 different generations. So there is the owners are 75 years old, 55 years old, and 28 years old. So 3 generations of relatives that decided to use their family land to produce Monterey.
So that's, I've been doing these broadcasts for 4 weeks now, thanks to Chef's Feed, and basically because I didn't have a whole lot to do. All my clients were closed, so I had a lot of time on my hands, and I thought that this platform was great because while the restaurants are closed, we could also work with the chefs and bring a little revenue to the chefs, and the same thing. I was just listening to you talk and say, we didn't present a Vino Italy. Well, we just presented, thank you, Chef's Feed. We just presented the wine to a lot of passionate people about this. So, I think that in these times of distress, it's great to be able to have an instrument like this where we can all get together virtually, albeit, and do this. So I think it's cool.
Okay.
Little digression.
So we continue with the reds. So from Antonella Corda, there is, as we said, the Carnot di Sardegna. From Giovanna Chessa, the Cagnolari, the name of the grapes. So I remember that arrived from this part, from Usini. And then we taste the Carignano del Sulcis. So it's one of the best wine that came from the sands.
Yum.
So the Sulcis is here. This is a blue zone. And here, this is the little cooperative from Calasetta. Calasetta is a little village in the little island of Sant'Antioco. And here there is, the vineyards are very, very close to the sea. And here we are just sand, wind, and love.
Fantastic. So I have a question from the feed, and they're asking me, what soils are good for growing Cannonau?
For me, the best soil are granite. But not granite from Ganlura, is the mix between the granite that we have in Barbagia and Ogliastra. Okay. Yeah, because it's a mix between the soil, the granite, of course, but also the climate.
Okay.
And it's the reason why there is a mention in the denomination is a classico. So when you see in the label Carnot di Sardegna Classico, it means that it came from the best part for Cannonau, so it's the part between Barbagia and Ogliastra. Okay. And here there is also old vineyards, old vines, so it's very, very strong Cannonau. But if you compare, for example, with the Cannonau from Antonella Corda, different terroir, here there is a clay, is a Cannonau more elegant, more fine, more light. Less tannic. Yeah, less tannic, yes, absolutely. And we taste also a Cannonau from Factory RJ. It came from Gerjay. It's more or less here. And we finish with Mandrolizai Pareda. So the same wineries in Maana that we tried the rosé, but the classic blend in red, Cannonau, Bovale, and Monica. Okay. Now I already tasted the Nuragus, and I have to open all the bottles. I think the Nuragus is perfect with a light cheese, maybe with this very, very young Pecorino, probably. This is Sassai, 30-day Pecorino. Okay. See if that works. Can we have, do you have other glasses? I want to pour a Sardinella. Let's pour Sardinella a glass of wine so we'll get you started too. And I might as well start drinking too, because, I mean, we're celebrating wine. There you go. So John, I'm going to open the other bottles. Okay. Can you, I know it sounds silly, but I'd love to show everybody how to properly open a bottle of wine and pour, because it's something we all take for granted. Yes. But
you know.
Okay.
Cool. Cool. So here, our professional taster is starting. So we got her the Nuragus. And as we suggested, Sardinella started with the 30-day. Now, dinner party, and I'm going to make a plate. Faccio un piatto. Parlo inglese o traduco? Okay. Dinner party, I'm making a plate, okay? And I want to impress my guests. So I want to actually pair a Nuragus with a jam or a honey and a cheese. What do you suggest?
Per le sue caratteristiche di percezione lunga,
Ok.
va benissimo con tutti i giovani, quindi sia col pecorino
Ok.
che col caprino e anche con il pecorino un pochino più avanti.
Ok.
Perché la dolcezza che è data dal fatto che questi formaggi siano giovani
Sì?
consente e si
It's a nice mix, harmonious.
una bella armonia.
Okay, that's wonderful. So she's saying this wine is long, okay? And so she says it really, all of these younger cheeses, which are sweet, okay? They match very well, the sweetness with the length. It's a harmonious match. Ok, va bene. Domanda veloce, cosa abbini? Se dovessi scegliere uno, what would you pair if you had to choose one thing between, I have eucalyptus honey, cardoon, orange marmellata, and marmellata from myrtle and quince.
La marmellata di mirto anch'essa va bene con i giovani perché mantiene, con i giovani prevale i sentori lattici, quindi la materia da cui origina il formaggio, quindi si ritorna al latte e invece col mirto diamo una stringenza finale che può essere interessante.
Okay, so the myrtle, it's a little bit tannic, you know, and so it helps you. You get all that milk and everything, and then the myrtle kind of stringente. How do you say stringente? It gives a little it closes it. You know what I mean? Anyway, you convinced me. Mi hai convinto. Okay, so I am actually going to take your advice, and I like this raw milk cheese here, so I'm going to do this. I got advice from a professional taster, so I mean, You can tell I'm a cheese guy because I eat the cheese before I drink the wine. Hai ragione, You guys got to do that. The myrto with the 60-day caprino.
Cioè la dolcezza e la leggera acidità del caprino va benissimo. Stanno in un equilibrio perfetto.
Yeah, it's really harmonious.
Nuragus is a 2019, so the last vintage is a very, very nice vintage for me. Yeah, especially for the white wine in Sardinia.
So
Yeah.
if we were to describe this,
the climate was very, very balanced between the sun and the wind, and I think are not the alcohol is give us a very, very nice sensation. It's not too much, and there is especially in the Nuragus there is a very, very fresh acidity.
Yeah.
And salty sensation at the end, and the smell is Mediterranean herbs,
Oh, yeah.
Sardinian herbs, some white flour, agrumes like lime. Yeah.
Totally.
Very nice to start our dinner.
It's fun to do a tasting with him. Every time he said, lime, okay, I got the lime, I got the flowers. I like that. You can tell me anything.
It's interesting because Nuragos used to be like a wine of quantity in Sardinia.
Yeah,
It was
especially in the
considered
past.
In the past, but now they are starting producing quality Nuragos.
Yeah. There are just 5 or 6 producers of Nuragos in the south of Sardinia, but now all the producers that choose to make Nuragos make the best quality that's here. Yeah.
So basically, what we're saying, Martha and I, we worked in technology. It was actually Sardinia's first internet service provider called Tiscali. And we both happened upon food, and we traveled all over the world for Tiscali in London and Barcelona and the frontier. And now you find us here, but why not, right? I mean, what a better job. So did we show everybody how to properly open a bottle of wine and abbiamo fatto vedere come si apre una bottiglia bene e versare un bicchiere. Lo facciamo?
Now John with the last bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, we make some slow motion about the open bottle, okay?
Va bene. So is it true? I heard there was a little discussion between Spain and Sardinia about either Canonau or Bovale. Which one were they? Do you know what I'm talking about? Or is Grenache Canonau or Bovale?
So first of all, Grenache is not the name of the grape; it's the name of the family. It's a big
okay.
family. As a Moscato or a Malvasia, it's not the name of the single grape.
Okay.
Okay. There is a Grenache family. Okay. Canonau is one part of this big Grenache family.
Got you.
But for not our study, but the university tell us that maybe 8% of DNA of Canonau is the same of Grenache.
Okay.
But also, if there are some similar things in the grape, you know that if the terroir changed, the wine changed.
Totally.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, for example, in the south of France, we have a lot of Grenache. In the Barcelona zone, we have Garnacha, but it's different from Canonau.
Okay.
Also in Italy, there is some grapes that are very similar to Canonau. In Marche region, for example, there is a grape that they call Bordeaux, but not Bordeaux as a France region. It's Bordeaux with the O with an accent, so it's very strange. And maybe it's a kind of Canonau, so it's a kind of Grenache family.
Interesting.
No, okay. And also Bovale, for example, there is in France a grape very similar that we call Mourvèdre. But it's the same because the Mourvèdre grow in the Rodano region. For the terroir is completely different from our Bovale.
Cool. So we tasted Nuragus, okay, yeah. And now where are we gonna go?
Now, first of all, we open.
Let's do. Okay, we're gonna show you how to open up. We're gonna show you how to open a bottle of wine.
So you are my customer.
Yes.
It's very important that the bottle is perfect in the position and the label is in front of you.
I see it.
Okay. So
Pareda.
I move my hands.
Yes.
But not the bottle.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, the capsule. One. This.
And then backhand. It's like tennis.
Yes.
Bellissimo.
Okay. It's very important here. Okay, not here.
Okay.
This is very close to the cork, so it's better here.
Okay.
In the second line of the glass.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And then this is called worm.
The worm. The worm.
Okay.
Okay.
It's very important. The first position. And then,
You mean it's important because you want it central?
yeah, in the center, yeah. Okay. And now,
So you go all the way down.
yeah,
Yeah, all the way down. Okay.
with this in front of our guest. First here,
Okay.
first here,
Okay.
and the last part with the hand.
Perfetto.
Okay. If the cork is a good cork, it's very long, so the worm don't.
There's no play, no wiggle room.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tight. And then we have to smell the cork.
Smell okay?
The smell is okay.
Okay.
And then we'll start. Can I serve you?
Sure. It's a tough job, but you know, somebody has to do it. So now, as a taster, okay,
Yeah.
I guess, oh, you're gonna tell us how to do this, right? You're gonna tell us how to look for the color and,
Yeah. Because especially for.
ooh, cherries. Whoa.
Oh wow.
Really, just blackberries and,
You are an expert.
oh, nice. And un po' di pibidi. A little pepper.
Spices.
Beauty.
This is mandorlisai.
this
So
area.
as we say, it's a blend between Canonau, Bovale, and Monica. And there is the red fruit from Canonau, and especially the spice from the Bovale.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we actually found, you sent me a letter, an email from a doctor, a heart doctor, who was going crazy about this wine. He saw the analysis of the polyphenols, and he actually basically said that this is a great long life wine.
He's a professor from an English university.
Yes, and I actually have a friend in America who has a medical center, a heart medical center, Dr. Khan, and I sent Dr. Khan a bottle, and he agreed that this was a fantastic red wine for your heart. So it's a long life elixir.
Actually, this area of Sardinia is very famous for longevity.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we're in 2 weeks. Simone and I. Simone is our video maker. We're going in 2 weeks with Maria. You met Maria if you did our Filindeu class. We're gonna go learn to the region where we have more centenarians than any other place in the world, Seulo. And we're gonna go and cook with Maria's grandmother, who's like 95. And so we're actually gonna spend 2 days doing a whole thing on centenarians and understanding a bit more about, because it's not just what you eat, it's not just taking a walk in the morning, it's everything. Like elderly people, they're important in our society. We don't put them in a nursing home. They're actually central. It's like Asian, they're central to educating our kids and all that, And anyway, we're gonna do that in 2 weeks' time.
And this Mandorlisai dock is from vineyards that are 80 years old.
80 years old.
80 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
Va bene.
Yeah, are incredible the view of this vineyard, because we say alberello.
Yes.
Because it has a
A little tree.
little tree. Is very traditional in Sardinia. Make the alberello allevamento of vineyards. Allevamento is say how you grow the grapes.
So on the add-ons, if you signed up for this event experience, I put some add-ons, and one add-on was a collection of 4 lessons with Giuseppe. And so basically, if you do that add-on, what we're going to do is, Giuseppe is going to give you a really good understanding of Sardinian wines. Okay, so this is an example of what we're going to do. And we're going to send you 6 bottles of wine. So we're going to do this course in like July. Giuseppe travels all over the world, so he'll be somewhere, but he's going to be doing it remote. But so if you're interested in a class, I said 5 people, so you can do more than 5 people. I thought 5 friends, that'd have fun, because then you come to Sardinia, right? You'd take the class, and then you'd come and visit us, and then we'll take you to all the vineyards. So that's the idea. Va bene, dai, andiamo avanti. Andiamo avanti. Let's move ahead.
So now, for example, I have 3 different white wine. Sardinia Semidano, so as we say, Semidano grape, 2019. As a Nuragus, it's very perfect for the aperitif because it's very light Sardinian wine. Also, it came from the south. And then I have Vermentino. Vermentino grape is very famous in all the Mediterranean area. We have Vermentino in Tuscany, in Liguria, in the south of France, in Corsica. But in this case, it's fantastic to taste this kind of Vermentino because the grape is the same, the island is the same, but the wines are different. Because Mattariga, this one from Giovanna Chesse, it came from Usini, so it's the west part. And I Graniti from Pedra Maggiore winery. I Graniti as granite, as the soil, is came from Gallura. So in Mattariga wine we have more flower, white flower. In Gallura Vermentino we have more fruit, yellow fruit. So more complex, more sapidity.
Okay.
And the air more elegance. The alcohol is more or less the same. It's at 13 degrees. And this is 2018, so it's good to taste Vermentino after 2 years, because also after 2 years, but also after 3, 4, or 5 years, it's perfect.
That's interesting because I often hear my Sardinian friends, you know, when I bring them a 2 or 3 year old Vermentino, they're like, oh, no, Vermentino, you have to drink when it's really young. That's not true at all.
And that's incredible because Vermentino is a semi-aromatic grape. So, you know, for example, the international grape has a Riesling. Okay, it's completely different, but after 4 or 5 years, there are some kind of
similarities.
Yes, especially on the nose.
Interesting. And Vermentinos, are they very similar in color, or again, does that change depending on the terroir and the age of the?
The color is the same. It depends, especially from the winery technique. For example, if you use ER, is just inox vinification. But for example, if you use oak barrel, the color is like different.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to taste one of this Vermentino?
Sure.
Graniti or Mattariga?
I like granite, yeah. Like minerally, yeah. All right.
I take one more.
Okay.
For the white one.
Thank you. Grazie.
Okay.
What year did you say this was? What year? Che anno è questo?
2018. Pedra Maggiore.
So Pedra Maggiore is also a small winery, family-owned. The founder was the father of the current owners, and they all work in the winery. So the owner, the wife, which is an agronomist, and the son and brothers, everyone.
So what are the main characteristics of this wine if somebody were interested in a Vermentino?
So first of all, the fruit, the yellow fruit.
Okay.
Yellow fruit, and then also in this case a little bit of herbs, as a basil, for example, thyme, and some note about Macchia Mediterranea. You know Macchia Mediterranea?
Yeah. So I have to teach you guys. This is a term we use all the time. We're going to learn a little Italian here. I'm going to write it down on the computer. Macchia Mediterraneo, like a cafe macchiato, you know. So it's stained, you know. So if you think of the Mediterranean mountainside, and you see all the bushes, you know, and all of our different trees and flowers, that is Macchia Mediterranea. So if you get, for example, a honey, which is called mille fiori, 1,000 flowers, in Sardinia, we often call that honey Macchia Mediterranea, because it's just all of the flowers, and it's the terroir of the bushes. So I'm going to write down that word. Macchia Mediterranea. Mediterranea. Così. Va bene.
So now I have in my glasses the Mandorlisai. Mandorlisai, I say before the lesson.
Sorry, I want to interrupt you. I find this extremely smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Like, it's dangerous. Like, you could drink this like...
It's smooth. It's the characteristic of Vermentino grape.
Mamma mia.
It's so smooth. Yeah.
I'm driving my motorcycle tonight. I gotta be careful.
Yeah, it's so smooth, especially because this kind of semi-aromatic sensation
Yeah.
it give on the mouth a lot of very, very smooth taste. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one, it's like potato chips. So I think a good abbinamento would be potato chips in the Vermentino because...
Actually, they open like a small bar close to the winery.
Yeah.
They cook also for the guests. So if they come to visit Sardinia, we can organize also.
Oh, somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the door. It's a surprise. What's going on? Oh! Hey! What's going on? Hey! Fabrizio! You came to visit us. And you have a shirt. That's a beautiful shirt.
You know this, right?
Yeah. Pane casa binarrasu.
Pane casa binarrasu. Gelato, wine gelato and casu gelato.
Okay, so
Gelato.
you guys have to understand, Fabrizio, he has a gelato parlor across the street. He is the best gelataio in Sardinia, or one of the best. And
Best in Italy.
he has, yes, and he has actually won. You won prizes, right? Hai vinto un premio, giusto?
Yes.
Cosa hai vinto?
With a pecorino cheese, with a fiore sardo, this one.
Okay.
One taste.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That's a tough job. We have a tough job here, because lo sai, è un lavoro difficilissimo il nostro.
I know.
Perché bisogna assaggiare.
Bisogna sacrificarsi.
Okay, so Fabrizio, he's a really cool gelataio who come ti posso descrivere? Perché tu hai questa passione per
Un artigiano del gelato.
he says simply Sardinians like it's great. I'm an artisan of gelato, and but Fabrizio, he's also crazy, and he makes really crazy combinations like fiore sardo and wine in the ice cream.
Questo è il gelato, il pecorino, il fiore sardo.
Grazie.
Sopra, per renderlo un po' più delicato, ci mettiamo 2 gocce di olio di lentisco.
Olio di lentisco. Lentisco is one of the plants of Macchia Mediterraneo. It's supposedly to have some really good medicinal properties. It has a wonderful aroma.
La freschezza che aiuta.
Grazie. So, questo è cannonau?
Questo è cannonau con le mele cottogne, anzi mela cotogna cucinata con il vino cannonau e tutte le spezie.
So that's like, you know when you like bake apples, there's quince with spices in the cannonau, and it's like, mamma mia, è una roba. And this?
E quello è il fiore sardo con appunto il lentisco sopra.
And this is fiore sardo, that cheese that I was showing you before, because I brought it to him last week to make. Quello che ti ho portato io, il fiore che ti ho portato.
Esatto.
Bravo.
Però con il fiore sardo abbiamo utilizzato invece del latte vaccino.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
E
L'olio del lentisco lo fa esplodere.
la freschezza, vero?
It gives it wow, but also it gives a pino, it gives pine and grass, and it's magic.
Thank you.
Volete gelato? Ragazzi, è roba proprio da sballo, eh? So now, Serenella, what do I drink now? Cosa bevo con questo gelato? Oh, Giuseppe, help me. What do I need to drink with this ice cream?
I think the rosé.
Dai.
Mandorlisai rosé.
Fantastico.
This is your glass?
See? It's empty.
Yeah.
Oh, you need some. Where's your glass? Ah. So what does
I think, especially with vino gelato, is perfect. But it's also because I
Grazie.
love the chromatic pairing. Look, the gelato and look the wine are more or less the same, and
Bello?
molto.
So, I hope that we're bringing you some joy. I know it's virtual, but I really hope that you're having fun, and we're bringing some joy because we're having fun. And I hope you can feel that. Serenella, do you want some wine or you're good? Hai vino? Sei a posto? Okay. So, Fabrizio, olio al lentisco. Olio di lentisco. Lentisco it's an ancient bush. There's a little fruit, and it's mastic. It's actually the original chewing gum. Lo sapevate? Che lentisco è mastic, no? Mm-hmm. Mastico, masticare, ed è la gomma originale degli antichi. So it's the original chewing gum, and it has medicinal properties. I have some chefs in America that go crazy for it. Sorry. We're trying to keep our distances but it's hard here because we've gone 8 days now without any new infections, so we have to be careful. But it's also hard to keep your guard up because we've only had 1,500 infections in the whole coronavirus in Sardinia. So this is the thing. It's like, certain regions where you don't have a lot of, it's weird. But we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Don't let your guard down. Right? Sei d'accordo?
Giuseppe, what do you say about the rosé?
Oh, okay, about the rosé. I have in my glasses
Strawberries.
the Mandorlisai.
Fragole.
Strawberry.
Hey.
Fragole. So, as I say, Mandorlisai is a subzone of Sardinia. It's in the perfect middle of Sardinia. And it's a subzone, it's a denominazione, it's also the name of the wine. I love this kind of wine because it's the mix between the
Filippo.
three main red grapes
E
in Sardinia.
Mahmoud.
So, Bovara, Canonau,
Hamadou.
Monica, and I think in this case with the rosé is very, very elegant. It's not so strong in alcohol, very balanced between acidity and smoothness, and there is a very, very incredibly salty sensation at the end. And especially on the nose is similar to red because the grape is the same, the wine is the same, so there are some similar things. I think this is perfect to start the dinner with an aperitif, with a young cheese, for example, with some fish fruit, crostacei,
Okay.
shrimps, and
Do you want a piece of cheese?
Yeah.
What would you like?
The caprino.
Well, the young caprino.
The young caprino.
Arriva.
And John, remember as I say that the Mandorlisai is in the heart of our island, but it's good for our heart. Why?
Why?
Il nostro cuore.
For our heart.
Yeah.
Hey. Because it's rich in polyphenols. Hey.
Of course. Yeah. Because Canonau and Bovale are very important grape, especially for the polyphenol. And polyphenol is very important because are antioxidants for our body.
So it's a theme that I really want to cover a lot when we travel around the island, and it's often purple. They're often dark red, purple food. We actually export a rice. It's called riso gioiello. Do you know riso gioiello from Passiu? It's a purple rice, and it's rich, super rich in antioxidants. And mirto. I mean, mirto. It's a particular berry. This is It's actually really hard to make a mirto jam because it's very tannic, no? Don't you think? It's very piney and tannicky. So when you eat a mirto berry, it's kind of, it's a challenge for a consumer, but this is made with quince, okay? This is from Bresco Dorada, my friend Paolo Melis. I named my company Trigu with Paolo. Salute Trigu. Ciao Paolo. And this is an awesome, I have to give you this ti devo dare questo, è marmellata di mirto. È fantastico, eh? È veramente buono, sì. And that's, purple foods, and all that stuff. So all of our red wines. So I heard, Giuseppe, you're going to get mad at me. I heard that compared to Bordeaux, Sardinian wines have 10, scientifically, analysis, 10 times more polyphenols than a Bordeaux. That's what I heard.
I don't know if it is 10 times, but I know there is
a lot.
A lot.
Va bene. Va bene.
Okay. Now I taste the Canonau.
Canonau. Oh, ayo. So in Sardinian, when we want to say let's go, we say ayo, ayo.
So the first one is very, very young, 2018, from Anton Lacorda. Came from Serdiana terroir, so the south of Sardinia.
Okay.
It's a Serdiana.
So near Cagliari.
Close to Cagliari, yeah.
Near Cagliari, so here, basically. Serdiana.
And the second one is a 2016. 2016 it was in Sardinia, but in all of Italy, one of the best vintage in the last 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it was very balanced. So the wines also from the south are very, very elegant, not so strong in alcohol. This is so perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And this is the color of the Canonau. So the color of the Canonau is not too dark, okay?
Okay.
It's very light. Despite the name is a Canonau, because it seems some strong name, the color is not so dark. And there is a big characteristic about Canonau, especially on the nose. There is some rose sensation. Rosa.
Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Canonau is so elegant. It is in the Canonau di Sardegna from Anton Lacorda. The rose sensation is very, very clear.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fabrizio, un po' di vino?
Sì, grazie.
Filippo, un bicchiere di vino?
Thank you so much.
Cosa preferisci? Abbiamo un sacco di vino qui. Cosa vorresti?
Canonau.
Canonau.
Oh, scusa.
Questo è il Cannonau di...
Antonella Corda, 2018. Un po' di vino?
No, grazie.
Posto?
Anche un po' di Antonella, grazie. My favorite.
John, maybe it's nice to make in the future masterclass about for example, 6 different Canonaus.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Deep dive.
One from Gallura, one from Oliena, one from Amoyana.
That'd be so much fun.
So the same grape, maybe the same vintage, for example, just to compare and to recognize the characteristic of different terroirs.
I like the idea. I mean, 6 Canonaus, try them all. That sounds like fun to me. So I think now with Canonau, which is, do you think it's the most famous Sardinian wine? I mean, like abroad, foreign people. Do you think this is what they say Vermentino and Canonau?
Yeah.
So, and they're big wines. This is 2018, like we were saying. So this is a little bit lighter, more amabile. I think we need our taster, right? Tu hai un bicchiere di Canonau? Let's do a taste with with Cannonau? Nice. So Giuseppe, the difference between, for example, a 2016 Cannonau from the south and a 2018 Cannonau from, I don't know, the Barbagia, like a Nepente or...
Okay, first of all is the age of the grape.
Okay.
Because, for example, from the vineyard in Serdiana, from Antonella Corda, are young vineyard. Especially in Barbagia, in Oriena and Mamoiada, we have old vineyards, so ancient vineyards with 80 years old, and so the structure is completely different. The wines are more intense, the wines are more complexity, and I think is not one is better than the other, but I think is the biodiversity. Okay.
Okay.
And in this case, for example, this is a Cannonau from GRJ 2016. Is also the color is a little bit darker, and here there is more the red fruit. Here is more the dark fruit and a little bit spicy.
Okay.
So, for example, talking about pairing. With this wine is better with young pecorino or some goat cheese, and here maybe also with pecorino aged, for example, or a kind of Fiore Sardo maybe.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, Sardinella, this is the 2018 Cannonau, lighter Cannonau. What would you do? So, dinner party. You got all these cheeses, all these honey and jams. What would you do?
Questo vino va benissimo con i formaggi molto stagionati che abbiamo qui rappresentati, ma in particolare con il nostro magnifico Fiore Sardo, che è un ventaglio di emozioni, e anche questo vino con tutte le sue sfumature è un mix fantastico, è perfetto. In particolare è perfetto.
I don't think I need to translate. You can tell by her body language. She's saying that this Cannonau, which has strong characteristics, with these Fiori Sardo, it's a match made in heaven. È un abbinamento fatto al cielo, ho detto.
Esatto.
È giusto?
Esatto, fatto al cielo.
Okay. Do we have questions? Do we need to answer?
No?
No? Come Lambrusco? Ah, okay. Maybe I'm not seeing all of them. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm not seeing all your questions. Oh.
Okay.
Let's see here. Thank you for the cheese list. Wait. Don't see them all. So, okay, so where are we going now? We're going to the 2016? So most wine tasters...
The nose is more dark fruit, more spicy, if you compare with 2018. So it's more, there is more intensity, and especially at the end, there is a little bit tannic sensation. Cannonau is not so tannic, but if you came from the old vineyard, the tannic sensation is more higher, of course. And in this case, I think it's very balanced between the tannic sensation, fresh acidity, salty, and smoothness.
Okay, so for example, if you were going to choose, between two Cannonau's, what you're saying is if you have a 2018, it's lighter, it's a little easier, right? And compared to a wine like this, which is a big red wine. Like one of my American friends are like, I want a big red wine, overpowering almost. This is kind of that, What's the percentage here? The 14%?
14.
14%. So.
14. And now I have in my glass the Cagnolari.
Oh.
So we come back with Giovanna Chessa winery.
Okay, where are we here on the island?
It's Usini. is the west part, northwest part of Sardinia.
Okay.
It's Usini is a little village. It's very famous for two grapes, Cagnolari and Vermentino.
Okay.
So white and red, Cagnolari and Vermentino. The terroir is clay, especially clay. There is, we are more or less 20 kilometers from the sea. So there is also here in the west coast, so there is the Mistral wind. It's very important.
Westerly wind.
Yeah.
Strong.
And Cagnolari is a native grape that we have especially in Alghero and Usini. Okay, so it's a grape that grow just in this case. Only in this.
So kind of like Semidano.
Yeah, like Semidano.
Semidano is a very small area, right? Molgaro, basically.
And this is very incredible because it's an explosion of red fruit.
Grazie. Wow.
Also, Cantina Quesa is run by a lady. She's really, really passionate about the terroir.
I've seen her vino.
So also, I think she inherited the lands since probably they are wine producer since 60 years ago. So.
Our Cagnolari is completely different if you compare with the Cannonau, Monica, or Bovale. Is higher in tannin, yeah, and also the acidity is very, very high. But with the alcohol, the acidity gives us the very, very important very fresh sensation.
Okay, is this
At the end
made?
of the sip, if you breathe, there is the very, very fresh sensation.
Ah,
okay.
is this made only
Cagnolari characteristic.
with inox, or is this
In this case, only the inox.
only stainless steel?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an interesting question, which I'd like to ask an expert, Giuseppe. I personally love wines that only have, they don't do any wood, especially our red wines. For a consumer who wants to buy a red wine and who's deciding, for example, does this do wood, or is this only stainless steel? So simple, only stainless steel.
Yeah.
What is your opinion? I mean, when somebody, for example, when I go buy wine, I like when I don't hear wood because I don't want to get confused.
Okay.
I like to taste the grape.
Okay.
But what is your opinion about only stainless steel, wood?
Very important question. The important is the wood is not an ingredient. Okay, so the wood could be perfect if thanks to the wood, the wine, the oxygenation of the wine give us the smooth sensation, for example. So especially with some grape that are higher in tannic, is very important to give us not the bitter sensation. So the wood is important.
Okay.
But if the wood give us some notes of vanilla notes, for example, spicy.
That's what drives me crazy.
No, because
it confuses me.
It's an ingredient. So we have to taste wine, not wood. Okay. So the wood is important if it give us the amplification
harmony
of the wine note. Okay, you understand me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's salt rather than hot pepper.
Yeah.
That's another thing we have to talk about in the future is the salt tradition in Sardinia. I mean, if you think about it, Fiore Sardo, I mean, our tradition, since we have very few ingredients here in Sardinia, but I mean, Bottarga, of course, all over Italy, any prosciutto or anything like that. But salt is so important in Sardinia. And we got great salt too. We take it for granted sometimes, I think.
Because here in Sardinia it's not expensive.
It's cheap. You go to the supermarket.
Japanese are crazy. When they come to Sardinia, they buy a lot of salt, like tons of salt.
My family too. It's like, you know, pack some rock salt in your suitcase. It's like 30 cents.
For Japanese.
Let's I'd like to talk about pane carazao.
Yes.
So pane, you know, we did call this lesson, we said it was going to be pane caso binaraso, pane. So the Sardinian bread making tradition is infinite, as is the handmade pasta making tradition. It's a world. But for sure, pane carazao, which it's a shepherd's bread, it's a fisherman's bread. It's an unleavened bread, okay? So there must be some connection with matzah, you know, with pane azimo. And it's a bread that lasts a long time. And once you get to know it, you're addicted to it. It's a thing of beauty. It's an absolute thing of beauty. The sound of it, the way they make it. So in Sardinia, you say, how do you make that pasta? How do you make that bread? Well, it's always water, semolina, and salt, you know? Okay, so water, semolina, and salt, and that's how you make filandeo. That's how you make lorighitas. That's how you make pane carazao. That's how you make gelato di Fabrizio Feino. No, sto scherzando. But it's just so thin and fantastic. And the way they make it is actually, they cook it twice. So it's a ricotta, you know? So you basically, you make your pasta, then you put it in the oven, it blows up, you cut it in half, you get the air, you know, and then you cook it again. And you can tell why a shepherd would, you know, it's great, right? It's light, it lasts forever. You don't care if it breaks, right? Non te ne frega niente se si rompe, anzi. And so, I don't know, when I'm having a dinner party, for example, what I love to do is we have a really like fresh ricotta salata. So like it's ricotta, but it's salted, so it lasts for a longer time. And I love just pane carazao, ricotta salata, and a little honey.
Esatto.
Ti piace?
Sì, mi piace. Preferisco con la ricotta
Fresh. But if you can have fresh.
Però ha un suo perché anche la ricotta salata, perché poi il mix che viene fuori col miele
È speciale.
dà un sacco di emozioni.
So it gives a lot of emotions. So this is the thing. Another thing about salt, Giuseppe, Marta, it's this. It's, if you think about it, so most Americans do not understand that our milk season goes from November to May. So we have fresh ricotta from November to May. And there's a little milk going on in the summer, but if you want fresh ricotta, you also want the kind of grass where it's good to have ricotta. So you're eating fresh ricotta in that period, and then done. So that's, you know, so what would you do? Since we have so much cheese making, and a byproduct is the serum, which you make ricotta from, is you need salt because you cure it, and then it lasts for a year. So it's another wonderful thing about Sardinian, you know, the shepherding tradition is ricotta salata, and you can get it smoked, you can get it simple, you can get it harder or softer. So ecco l'altra cosa di ricotta salata, cioè io posso avere una ricotta salata così gentile, no? Oppure uno un po' più duro dove è più facile fare una pasta alla norma. So you can get almost towards a fresh ricotta salata. That's actually what we export to America, and our clients love it. But you can also get it harder, which is better for grating, like if you want to make a Sicilian dish, pasta alla norma, with eggplant, tomato, basil, and ricotta salata. Dimmi.
Non ho capito la domanda.
No, non ho fatto una domanda. You know, that's the thing about wine tasting, is you get to a certain point. Va bene, andiamo avanti. We were at Cagliolari, okay?
And now
I love the color, by the way, of the Cagnolari.
Yes.
It's a beautiful. Can you see the color, Simo? It's just. Is this yours or mine?
It's a classic.
Mine, but it's okay.
We say in Italy rubino, so it's a ruby.
Ruby.
Color, yeah.
Bellissimo. It really invites you to drink it, you know? So Fabri, hai mai fatto un gelato con questo vino?
Col Cagnolari.
Con Cagnolari sì, abbiamo fatto un gelato con le pesche. Qua si usa...
With peaches. Peaches and Cagnolari?
Sì.
Wow.
Qua si usa d'estate soprattutto, mettere le pesche all'interno della brocca di vino.
Yeah, that's what we do in the summer. We have red wine, Cagnolari with peaches. Ever in the summer, yeah.
Abbiamo fatto un gelato, più che altro un gelato, le pesche e vino.
Yes.
Quindi sentivi la freschezza del frutto, delle pesche e poi il Cagnolari che ti dava questo.
This is Fabrizio's genius. So in Sardinia, in the summer, you always have wine at the table, always red and white wine, and when it's hot, you actually. I have these memories, and we do it all the time. But just you're cutting like the grandmother or the elderly woman in the house is usually cutting the peaches and putting them in a big, a vase, and then pouring the red wine. It's a sangria, basically. Because. But Fabrizio makes an ice cream like that. You're a genius. That's fantastic. So I have a question for you. What is the craziest ice cream you've ever made? Qual è il gelato più folle che abbia mai fatto?
Alla lumaca. Il nostro divertimento è quello, infatti, cercare l'ingrediente più strano. Erano turrini, ma non erano
È bellissimo.
cercare
Ma faceva
il
schifo?
più strano.
Faceva schifo?
No, perché l'abbiamo servito col pane carasau,
Sì?
spalmato,
Sì?
un po' di rucola sopra, che sgrassava, alleggeriva un po'.
Ah,
Il croccante del pane carasau era buono.
so
È stranissimo, non l'avrei mai detto.
so I asked Fabrizio what was the craziest gelato he ever made, and he said with snails, and he was serious. So he actually made a gelato with snails on pane carasau with the rucola e basta. Rucola gelato, eh?
Rucola fresca sopra.
Yeah, fresh rucola. And so that's another reason to come to Sardinia. So you can meet Fabrizio Fendu and you can taste his ice cream with snails. Okay.
Don't ask me the pairing between snails and wine. I don't know.
But I am going to, as a grand finale in the future, because we're not done yet, but I am going to ask you and our professional taster how to pair Bottarga with wine. Bottarga is our gold. This is Sardinian gold. And this is a mullet, mugine, and we cure these with salt, okay? A lot of things with salt. It's a thing of beauty. We make pasta with this. We cut it thinly and serve it on pane carasau with a little olive oil on top. Ci sarebbe l'olio lentissimo? Non si va, non va d'accordo. Cosa ne pensi? Difficile. Però veramente era buono, cioè a poco a poco. We could try with olio lentischio. It's a very strong lentischio, but we could try. Anyway, we have it with artichokes. We like to make pasta with clams and bottarga. But at the end, so you have to stay, we are going to learn what is the perfect and almost unique pairing for bottarga. Because, and we like an appetizer, we like bottarga and artichoke. So then it becomes really difficult to pair anything because you can basically drink water after that. But we will learn, so stay tuned.
Okay.
Allora, andiamo avanti, dai.
Now, the last red wine is Carignano del Sulcis.
Ah, ok.
So Carignano is the name of the grape. Sulci is the area. So we come back in the south of Sardinia, in the west south. Here there are two little islands, San Pietro and Sant'Antioco. In Sant'Antioco there is a Calasetta. Calasetta is a little village. There is a very, very nice cooperative that make one of the best Carignano that we have. It's called Piede Franco. Yeah, because Piede Franco is Piede Libero. So the grape is free.
A free foot.
Yeah, why? Because it's a Prephyloxera grape.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So a very, very ancient grape.
And it survived.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Why?
Hey.
For the sand. Yeah, because the phylloxera is not. It was able to resist in the sand. Okay.
So, but the only Piede Franco in Sardinia is in Calasetta?
Also in the Terralba zone, so in the Oristanese area. Yes, yes. And there is some vineyards, Prephyloxera, in the north of Sardinia, near Sassari.
But
Yeah,
few.
near
The most
Sorso
part
and
is,
Senori, but the most is in the
Calasetta.
and Sulcis area. Okay, Carignano. So one more grape with us is incredible because Carignano for me is the main characteristic is the smoothness, because the tannic sensation is very, very light. The alcohol is a little bit higher, and is very, very round, smooth. Okay, and I think you have to try this Carignano.
Ayo.
And
The
Also
Cantina di
this-
Grazie.
Calasetta is,
without oak. Okay.
No wood.
is a very ancient cooperative. It's dated back to 1932, I guess. 1930 something.
That's smooth.
Yeah.
It's really smooth.
This is 2017. It was a very, very hot vintage, but in general in the Sulcis area, all the vintage are very, very hot. Remember that we are very, very close to the sea. And there is, the acidity is not so high, but there is a very, very incredible salty sensation.
This got me like salivating, like more than. Why does it do that?
For the sali minerali.
Okay, but yeah, okay. The salty minerals. I don't know how to translate
salty
it.
minerals, yeah.
Alright.
Salty minerals,
Alright.
yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, because sometimes to balance it, the alcohol is very important, the acidity or the tannic sensation. If you don't have acidity or tannic sensation, or the lower of the acidity or the tannic sensation is a little bit lower, it's good to have this kind of salty sensation.
So I have a question for you. June, May, end of May, June is the time where we do our tuna fishing. There's a very important festival or just time of harvesting tuna in Sardinia. It's called La Tonara in Carloforte and Calasetta. And
It's a big venue as a Girotonno.
yeah, Girotonno. So a lot of people think that they have to drink white wine with fish and red wine with meat. And I wonder if people in Calasetta, for example, when they're eating tuna, are they drinking white wine or red wine or both?
Yeah, I think it's a mistake if we drink just meat with red and just white with fish.
Okay.
It depends from the wine and from the fish or meat. For example, with tuna, it's better red.
Really?
Yeah, because tuna is a kind of meat,
Sure it is.
okay?
Yeah.
And with some white fish, for example, is better a white wine. For example, a Vermentino from Gallura. Okay?
Okay.
So it depends. Depends with the kind of wine you have and with the kind of fish or meat with it.
So like our most prized cut of the tuna is ventresca. It's very fatty.
Yeah.
And so what do you pair with, what wine would you pair with a ventresca?
Talking about this wine, I pair this Cannonau.
Okay.
Why? Because yeah, the Ventresca is too fat, and this Cannonau is higher, a little bit higher if you compare with the others in acidity. And so, to balance it, the fatty sensation is perfect to have acidity. So red, especially because the Ventresca is very, very strong taste, but with acidity. So I chose this Cannonau 2018.
Got you. Are we done, or do we have more? Oh no, we have the surprise. Hey, we have the surprise. So I'm a knife freak, like most Sardinians. Do you have a knife in your pocket right now?
Not now, but I have a lot of in my house.
So most Sardinians have a knife in their pocket. My microphone's gonna fall off right now. But every Sardinian has a knife in their pocket usually. I'm a knife freak. I love knives. And Sardinian knives are just so beautiful. This is from Arbus. And this is, that's the horn of a ram horn. And I've fallen in love with these wooden, like olive. This is wild olive.
Ah, okay.
And sì, olivastro. Sì. This is coltelleria arborese. And so here's like pasta in Sardinia. You know, every region has, you know, you make lorighizzi and mograngiori, you make filendaio nuoro. In Sardinia, in Arbus, you make a fat knife like that. And in patada, you make a knife like that. It's good for easy way to do many things. So this is this is a shepherd's knife, basically. But anyway, botarga. Okay? What do we do with botarga? Botarga is traditionally from the coastal areas. So we have salt marshes in Sardinia where we have mullet, and we have them. There's a lot of botarga production in the Oristanese. Okay? There's a lot of botarga production on the east coast as well, in Tortoli. I mean, where you're doing fishing and you have salt marshes, you're making botarga. Okay, it's a very. Why is it so difficult to pair?
First of all, because it's for the salty sensation.
Salty.
Yeah, salty. Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes the salty sensation is a little with the acidity of the wine or with the tanniness of the wine are give us the bitter sensation that is not good.
Okay, I got you.
So first of all, for the salty sensation. Then because it's very, very strong. So, for example, if we taste with Nuragus or Semidano, the botarga
Overpowers it.
yeah,
Va bene.
generates it every note. But
See? But
there is a fantastic and a unique wines that is perfect with the botarga.
ah.
Yes.
So what wine is it?
It's a Vernaccia di Oristano.
Vernaccia di Oristano. Vernaccia di Oristano. Eccoci qua. It's here. Okay. We made this shirt for you. By the way, if you like what we're doing, you can buy this shirt for you and your friends, and you'll help us produce these wonderful videos. $25 a shirt. Write me, john@triguitalia.com, and we'll send them to you. And we can send you a case of wine with that as well. So, can you tell us about Vernaccia? Because there's this particular thing with the air and the botte. And
First of all, the name of the grape is a Vernaccia.
Vernaccia.
But you know that vernaccia is similar to garnacha or grenache.
Ah, sì?
And we talk about grenache as a Cannonau family, okay?
Okay.
But we have to know that vernaccia, the name came from the vernaculum. It's a Latinian word that means del posto, local.
Okay.
So in Italy, for example, there are a lot of grape that we call vernaccia. But it's the wine that the local people is used to make.
Aha.
But the grapes are completely different. For example, there is a vernaccia di San Gimignano in Tuscany.
Of course.
Different.
Totally different. It's just it's the homegrown,
Yeah.
the home brew.
Yeah, no. There is the vernaccia di Serra Petrona nelle Marche region.
I didn't know.
Adriatic Sea. Different.
But anyway,
There is the vernaccia di Oristano.
Hey.
So the grape is a name of an indigenous grape that we have just in the Oristano area, but the techniques is very, very particular.
Okay.
Because we use the botti di castagno, so
Chestnut barrels.
chestnut barrel.
Okay.
And but is very incredible in preparation because it's an oxidative wines.
That's what?
It's oxidative wines.
Okay.
Because, so you know that the oxygen is could be bad for wines.
Yes.
In this case, is perfect. Okay? Because thanks to the oxygen, the vernaccia, when aged very, very well, increase all the nose sensation.
So
the taste.
usually when you're making wine, you don't want oxygen.
Yes.
It'll fuck it up.
Yes. Yes.
Vernaccia, you want oxygen. You actually leave space in the barrel for oxygen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the barrel for the vernaccia are empty.
Wow.
Okay, are not full. So the oxygen give us this kind of sensation, the note that the Oristanese people call murrai. Is the murrai.
Hey.
Is the note sensation of the nose. It's incredible because there is some note that came from red grape, white grape, Macchia mediterranea, red fruit,
Wow.
dry fruit. It's incredible.
So I heard, this Vernaccia is from Davide Orru.
Yes.
Okay. So we do chef tours. We used to do chef tours. We hope to do chef tours in the future. 7-day deep dives in Sardinia where we do something incredible every day. And we went and visited Davide Orru, and he explained to this about this oxidization of the wine and how it was, he called it like a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
He said it's a miracle, you know. We had a miracle too. The American hockey team in 1974 or whatever beat the Russians in the Olympics, and that was a miracle. But this is a different kind of miracle. And he told me, he's like, okay, so we put the wine in the barrel, and we leave the air there, and then we leave it to God. That's what he said. What does he mean by that? I never understood what he meant.
It's a true natural wine. This is natural wine for me.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a beautiful color.
Beautiful color.
Jeez.
And you know that there is three kind of.
Looks like a whiskey.
You know that there is three kind of different pairing. Okay, in general,
Hey.
between food and wine.
Okay.
There is a traditional pairing. For example, tuna and carignano is a traditional because it's so local.
Okay.
Or pecorino cheese with bovale.
Okay.
Very, very traditional. Then there is a chromatic pairing. And look the color of the vernaccia and look the color of the targa.
Porca. Incredibile. Incredibile. That is incredible. I love it. Mamma mia. Allora, This is for you, a little botarga.
Is exactly the same.
Chromatic pairing and local pairing.
So,
Prendi una botarga. Prego.
Thank you.
Mamadou, ti piace? Ma il pane Mamadou non lo facciamo?
now.
Ok.
So, John,
Ce l'hai? Sì. Dimmi.
traditional pairing, in this case, fish with local wine.
Ok?
Chromatic pairing is the same color, and
Okay.
in this case also terroir pairing, because vernaccia, this kind of vernaccia came just from Oristano area, and the botarga came from the Oristano area. It's the reason why it's the unique pairing that we have all over the world.
Sere, it's a match made in heaven. È un abbinamento fatto al cielo.
Dolce.
So, whenever you cut botarga and hand it to people, it's something like, we go crazy for it. It's like our caviar, right?
Yes.
It's like, as soon as you...
Silence.
Silence, yeah, yeah. Scusa, posso assaggiare poco poco con la vernaccia, che sono curioso? Amazing. So, what year is this?
2009.
2009.
Yes.
Wow. How do you describe the... What are you smelling here?
Oh, first of all, dry fruit. A lot of dry fruit. And
Per te cosa c'è nella vernaccia? Di aroma?
Mando, come stavo dicendo, dei frutti sulla
Frutti
stecca.
Almonds.
almonds.
Ciliegia?
After some minutes, there is also red fruit as a cherry. Yeah.
Oh,
Iodium.
I don't know how to translate that. Like
Iodium.
salt? No.
What?
Oh,
Yeah. The salt is
Iodine?
that you taste the
Iodine? Maybe? Could be.
Yeah.
Come vede?
Iodine?
Iodine.
Sì,
Maybe.
sì, sì.
Yeah. Wow. Fantastic.
Do you need another botarga?
Yes.
The problem about botarga, it's like once you start, you never finish. I mean, you'll finish the botarga.
Thank you, John.
There you go. Botarga, Mata,
Thank you.
you good? A posto?
Sì, ok. Scusa.
Questa qua è il caramazzo.
No, no, questa dopo la abbiamo. Siamo verso la conclusione. Ok.
Okay.
John, you know that there is a little connection between this place, some local ingredients, and California.
Really?
About bread.
From Sardinia to California?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
And
about
bread.
Yeah.
No. Tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Because it is my colleague, Mamadou. He came from Guinea.
Wow.
He's an African guy. And he made a very, very incredible bread. And he used local ingredients.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, what does that have to do with California?
Because the technique to make this kind of bread, it came from California, it came from San Francisco. It's a kind of bread that we call San Francisco farm bread. Because there is in San Francisco a very important chef, very important guy called Chad Robertson that make this kind of bread. And here in Cucina.it with Mamadou, we use this kind of technique from California, but we use local ingredients. And this is the bread, is our farm bread. So, and Mamadou is our baker.
Wow.
Mamadou speaks English, so can explain this technique to make this bread. Yes. Okay.
Let's hear. We're curious.
Okay, so in Italian and John translate. Okay.
Allora, la farina nel pane è quello che facciamo qua tutti i giorni.
Make it every day.
Yes. La farina che usiamo è una farina multicereali.
Okay, multi-cereal, okay.
È una farina ancora tipo 1.
Okay.
Il lievito che
So,
utilizziamo è
type 0, tipo 0.
no,
Type 1.
Type 1 flour, okay.
So it's less raffinated than type 0.
Okay.
Yeah. Il lievito che utilizziamo è il lievito naturale, lievito madre.
Natural, okay, natural yeast.
Yeah. Lievito liquido, facciamo l'impasto con le mani.
Okay, you're doing everything with your hands.
Without planetarium.
Right.
E niente, lo forniamo tutti i giorni.
Every day.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. Let's taste it.
Okay.
Eh? Quasi quasi dico pane col gelato. Wow. Bello.
John, the characteristic is the hydration of this kind of bread. It's 90% of water inside. Okay? So it's very humid.
90%.
90%, yeah. So it's so humid, so soft, and the crust is very, very hard.
I bought it and it lasts long.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of our session, and when you do a cheese tasting, it's the best thing to do is to go from a very mild cheese to, like Giuseppe did. He kind of went from the mild wines to the bigger wines. And the same thing with cheese tasting is you see the order that we did with the cheese. It was, a 30-day pecorino, then a 60-day goat cheese, then a 5-month caprino, and then we went to the 12-month pecorino and then a 12-month fiore sardo. So we're at the end of our party, and we're all happy. We just had Batarga too. So the only thing you can really eat right now is something that's really strong. And this is, guys, this is a treat. I brought this from a friend, a shepherd. It's a wheel that was put away for a while, organic raw milk. And I call it a barnyard cheese. So we'll taste it with Mamadou's bread and see how it goes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Grazie. Prego. Prego. Prego, taster.
Grazie.
Filippo.
Grazie. Grazie.
Prego. Poi Mamadou. So friends, we've decided to really tell the Sardinian story. It's been an unsung region for too long, and the situation of the world right now, it's just created naturally this opportunity to, if we had more time, but we've decided every week to bring you some product, some friends, and give you some insight into this incredible island. Hopefully one day you'll come. So again, thank you for coming. Let us know if you want to do Giuseppe's lessons. Let us know if you want to send you some wine or just a shirt. But thank you for coming. Again, this is a time where we all have to be doing something positive in anything, thinking of something positive. Here we've shared a lot of friendship and good things. And we hope that you've enjoyed it and we've distracted you and that you learned something. So thank you for joining us. Be safe. Take care. Love from Sardinia.
Thank you. Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.
Thank you.